Hi, Ashley. Good morning. Just cleaning up my table here. Got cards everywhere. I've been awake for a while. Hi, guys. Already 20 people. What are you guys doing up so early? Hi, everyone. Welcome in. So, if you're wondering who I am, my name is Miss Molly or Molly. I am an intuitive psychic medium. And I do readings here if you're interested in a reading. I charge $40. It's in my profile, my link tree. If you go in there, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, $40. I give you a reading right now, right here. Now, if you're a subscriber of mine, it's only $6 a month, and I come on here and I see you. You just have to give me a purple heart and remind me that you're a subscriber, and I will pull some cards for you. So subscribers get a little perk. I also help people find lost items. That's another thing that I offer. So if you've lost an item, you can tell me about it, but you need to give me a very good description. Don't just say my grandma's bracelet. That does not help me, you guys. I have to be able to close my eyes, visualize the item, get an idea who it belonged to, where it was last time you saw it, little information on it, please. So just putting it out there, guys. And I have had a lot of success lately with that. Also, you will know if you've been watching me at all. And if you haven't, go ahead and go in my profile and take a look. I happen to catch a lot of surprises here on my lives. Orbs. My cabinet opened one time. Things that look like, I don't know what they are. But anyways, you guys are usually better at seeing it than I am. Half the time I'm talking and you guys are going, yeah, there's an orb in the background, or, this happened. I've been having a lot of this middle light here flashing on and off. I'm going to turn my light down just a little up here. Sorry, I don't have any makeup on. It's morning. It's early. Do I do pregnancy? No, I don't have any. I had a hysterectomy. So no, I don't do pregnancy. Any tips on when to visit haunted places, but also want to be protected from negative entities? Okay, the first thing is stop worrying about that. If you're going into a haunted place and you're worried about something happening to you, don't do it. Just like I say, if you're going to ride a motorcycle and you're afraid and you're like terrified to get on a motorcycle, I wouldn't do it until you don't feel afraid. Not saying you shouldn't have caution, absolutely, and be smart. But if you have fear, you can understand. You attract what you're putting out. If you're putting out fear when you walk into a haunted place, not saying you won't have fear, you do. But if you feel confident, like I'm in charge, I can handle this. I know that my energy is in a very good, positive place, and you need to be in a good place personally, and that I will be able to handle anything that shows up in my presence. And if you don't feel that way, I wouldn't do it, angels. I wouldn't. That's just how I feel. You need to be prepared. You have to have the right intentions and feel confident that you can handle what's going to happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't. If you're worried about negative entities, I won't even do it. That's just me. Because really, I don't think there's that many negative entities. But if you're worried about it, guess what? You'll bring them in. I'm just visiting South Carolina, want to do a ghost tour. No, really, absolutely do it. If you're going on a ghost tour with other people, like a guide, you'll find it's not that scary. It's fun and it's exciting, but you don't really get as scared. It's not the same type of scary. It's one thing if you're going by yourself, like you're an investigator by yourself. It's another thing when you're in a group. It's not that scary. So I would say go ahead and do it. But I would definitely remind yourself that you can handle anything that comes your way. You do every day. You have spirits around you every day. Positive, negative, good, bad. It doesn't matter. They're around you every day. They're not there to get you. They don't care what you're doing. As long as you're respectful. Really, Con Nick. And why did you feel a need to announce that right here? Just curious. Holy water. If you're not... Okay, that makes no sense, Becca, because what if you're Jewish? What's holy water going to do? What if the ghost is Jewish? You see what I'm saying? You guys are really buying into that television crap. Just saying it. Just saying. Not trying to be a bitch, but Okay, Nick, you are spamming me and I don't appreciate it. So I'm going to tell you to go bye. I like Lady Gaga, but I don't appreciate the spam. So you're going to go bye-bye, darling. Okay. Nick's gone. Sorry, guys. Anyway, From the Depths will be her biggest album. Okay, shut up, dude. I don't know what this dude's problem is. Yeah, Hollywood misinformation. Exactly. Oh, I'm not picking on you, sweetie. I'm just saying. Yeah, Leslie. Leslie Ferry, you guys. One of my favorite people. I just interviewed with her last week, you guys. We have an interview coming out next week, I think. Or a week after. Wow. Predictions, you guys, are cray. You guys follow her. She's amazing. Because I Want to Know podcast. Paranormal romance author. Best-selling guy, guys. Really great. Teague. Oh, that's silly too, but whatever. That's your opinion. Cool. You'll bring Obsidian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just make it where you're comfortable. Hey, from upstate. Hey, Leslie Dragonfly. I know. I'm kind of like, Leslie, I'm going to be honest with you. They're weird. But I've heard other people saying the same thing recently. It's fact. I don't care, Teague. I don't really give a crap. Lady Gaga can do whatever the hell she wants. That's her deal. I don't believe in the devil. So you can say that if you want. I don't believe in Satan. Do I believe that there's forces or energies that are not as positive as they should be? Yeah. But do I believe in Satan? No. Now, if people believe that and they want to worship that, that's their dealio. Whatever. Not my problem. I don't put focus on that stuff. See what I'm saying? Don't do that. Teach. Don't do that to yourself. Don't worry about that stuff. Are you going to meet Lady Gaga? Are you going to hang out with her? Are you going to have dinner at her house? No. So don't worry about what she does. Who cares? Don't give her that energy. Cool. Cool, Becca. Anyway, guys, so what's coming up? So I want to tell you guys, I'm thinking next week, hey, T is on. Next week, I'm going to do a open tarot class. Those of you who've been waiting and those who have been asking, because I know you guys love it, we are going to do an open tarot class. It is going to be on the YouTube. Hey, T, it's going to be on YouTube. Not here. Not here. I will put up announcements on both here and YouTube. Now, you're going to have to subscribe on YouTube because you guys know how TT is here. They're not cool about that cross promotion. So, it's going to be next week. I will tell you when it's going to be. I don't know yet. I'm still figuring out my schedule. It will be donation based. So you can show up and watch. You don't have to pay. But I would appreciate the donation. It's my time. Anyone who's watching, if you want to donate to the class, that would be wonderful. But I am not going to force it on you. I still want you to have the information. It is a very basic class. It is meant to teach you to come up with your own technique. Okay? Of course, psychic. I don't care if you're an advanced reader or you're just starting out, you've never touched a deck of tarot or oracle cards. It doesn't matter. I'll even teach you how to read regular old plain cards. Okay? And that way you will have a framework, an idea. So any tarot deck you pick up, and here's the trick. This is the Rider deck, you guys. This is the basic deck. I went from 300 people to 45. This is the basic deck almost everyone uses, right? You're all probably familiar with this. There are hundreds and thousands of decks you guys have never seen. Okay, here's another one. I just got this one. This is my favorite one. This is my Rome Choi deck. I mean, look, same deck, same cards, different illustrations, right? See what I'm saying? Here's another one. This one, I found it at a thrift store, believe it or not. This one's more like medieval looking. See, I'm sorry, it's upside down. These kinds of things. Same cards, same cards. Here's another set. This one I just got. My friend sent me these Pulp Fiction ones. I just love them. I think they're so hilarious. They're so cool. They've got like this total vibe, right? Yeah. So Leslie says, because I also interview NDEers, I've learned that God source has nothing to do with written. Yes, absolutely, Leslie. And she does a lot of NDE interviews. So if you ever have questions about what happens after you pass, and I also had an NDE, and I think we talked about it as well, definitely listen to her because it really gives you so much insight. So the nice thing is, when you learn to read the way I teach you, you can read almost any deck because you can see how different they can look compared to the original that everybody learns from, right? Totally different. So I teach you some techniques so you can pretty much pick up almost any deck and go, okay, I can figure out what these cards are and how I want to use them in the reading. So it's a fun class. People love it. I've had people come back and take the class a second and third time. I used to charge and do it through Zoom, and I had too many complications. I tried it through YouTube as a paid thing, too many complications. And at some point I thought, I always tell you guys to listen to the universe and your guides. My guides were telling me don't do it that way. So the last time I did it, I just did it on here freelance, and people jumped on and loved it. So we're going to do it that way. We'll do it a little bit like a teaser here, and then we're going to jump over to YouTube. And it'll probably be, I'm guessing, beginning next week. I will let you guys know. Would I be able to answer a question for you? Generally, I don't answer a lot of questions on here unless you're a subscriber or you want an actual reading. But it depends on what your question is. So go ahead and ask me, and I might answer, I might not. Thank you, T-Save. That's so kind of you, sweetheart. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Angels, for the That's so cute. Sorry, I look like crap. I just woke up. I don't have a shred of makeup on. I just woke up. I actually woke up at like 4:44. The spirit numbers. 133 people. Wow. Should we keep Rocco? I don't know what that means, honey. No clue what you're talking about. Is that an animal? Is that a kid? Who's Rocco? Right? And I love makeup. I don't like coming on here without makeup. It's something I never used to do. But I also realize you guys know I'm a real person. And since I'm awake, for me to go put on makeup at 4 in the morning doesn't make any damn sense. I know I don't have a filter on. I don't care. Oh, it's your puppy. Why wouldn't you keep your puppy? That makes no sense. If you got a kid that was trouble, would you return it? I don't understand that shit, Drew. So if you want my opinion, no. I don't think you adopt a puppy and give it up. I mean, that's bullshit. You sounded the trumpets. You're so funny. Leslie, stop, girl. Now, you want to know about gorgeous. You guys should see Leslie. She's beautiful. I mean, beautiful. If you want to know how I feel about dogs, there you go, girl. You asked me a question. Now you know why I answered that way. It's backwards, but it says a house is not a home without a dog. I have 2. Yes. And of course, you guys, every time I do get like spirit on, not every time, but a lot of times when I get spirit on here, you see it, I look like this. And then of course, when I go to repost, I'm in my pajamas and the whole world seeing me in my pajamas with spirits and shit flying around me. I have to tell you guys, the last probably 6 private reads I did, I'd say 75% of them have had burps show up. Not little ones either. Ones you can really see. What kind of dogs do I have? Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. You lost your dog. Yes, exactly, lady. I have a bully boxer mix named Bruce. He has 1 blue eye and 1 brown eye like I normally do. And I have a senior half lab, half Staffordshire, Roxy, which you guys haven't seen lately, but she's here. She hurt her ear. She's had some problems with her. She's wearing the cone of shame. And Bruce recently hurt his eye. So his eyes been, both of them have been a mess lately. Let's see, where are we? I've been a little into my mythology lately, learning about hellhounds. Ever had experience? No, but I'm fascinated. I'd love to hear about that. I legit use the vampire pug coffee gut. You said, oh, you do? It's so cute. Because Leslie has a pug named Molly. And when we became friends and did an interview, one day I was shopping at, I think it was like a TJ Maxx, and they had a mug. It was right around Halloween with a pug wearing a vampire outfit. It said, I don't remember what it said on it, but it was so cute. Anyways, I sent it to her. That was funny. How can you tell if your reader is a phony? Oh, God, I hate that question. Hi, brother. I would say a reader is and by the way, you guys, well, we'll get back to a reader is a phony. A lot of ways. I'll tell you a few. First is the very first one, and I think everyone on here who's ever had a reading or has been on TikTok at all with mediumship stuff understands. They ask you for a reading. They reach out to you and say, Grand Rising, or I noticed you on my live today, or whatever bullshit. Would you like a reading? I felt I have to reach out to you. Oh, cute, Jonathan. I love it. So that's one thing. Number one. So any legit medium psychic doing private readings, first of all, if they're doing private readings, we'll have their own website. Even if it's just a simple website with nothing on it but a way to contact them. They will have a website, first off. We'll start there. They're going to take the time to set up a website. Also find out if they have a business license. Okay, because taking donations, that's okay, and people do it, and I don't have an issue with that. But it's nice to know if they do have a business license, so that if you feel like something went wrong, or you feel like you got ripped off, you can report them. Something to think about. I have an LLC. Okay, there's that. But you don't have to, but it's just an idea. Third thing is find people who've had readings from them. Ask them for recommendations. Who else had a reading for you? Show me some testimonials. Okay? Then the other thing you can do is just how you feel. If you don't like them, don't read with them. You start a reading and you don't like what they're doing, back out. If you pay through PayPal, you can get your money back if you're not happy, right? I always guarantee my readings. I don't announce it because I don't want everybody getting a reading and then asking for their money back just because they can do it. But I'm always willing to reread if they don't like the reading. Meaning, if someone reads for you and you feel like the reading just completely off, you have the right to say, I don't feel like that was correct. Not because you don't like the reading. There's a difference between I don't like what you told me versus that is not me, right? Yeah, you can tell someone's bogus. Marta, I'm now going to answer you because you are spamming the hell out of me. No offense. I know you're trying to get my attention. Marta, I'm not answering that. I don't answer those questions. That would be irresponsible. Another example of a good psychic medium. I'm not going to answer that. You know why? Because first of all, there's always a chance I could have a mistake. And for me to say to you, yes, and then you go home and get in a fight, yell at him, possibly put yourself in a precarious position, I know zero about you, I don't do that. It's not my job to tell you what to do. That is not my effing job. 222 people. Thank you, Spirit Guides. I cannot believe I have that many people in here. My job is to tell you all the information that you need to know from your guides, from your ancestors, from my guides, whatever, so that you have the tools to make your own decisions, knowing all the facts and all the information. So I don't answer that. I don't even answer yes, no. You know why? Because of a 50-50 chance of being right. It's bull crap. Same with you, Bella. I'm not answering that. Now, if you want an answer to something that is very important in your life, like should I stay with my husband, or should I change my job, or should I adopt children, or whatever, you don't come on TikTok and ask me to answer yes, no. Right? You ask me to do a reading for you so I can give you all that information. That's all I'm going to say. I tell clients, you will hear what you need. Yes, exactly. I say that too, T. Your take on awakening. I'm not sure if I know what you mean, but do you mean like people awakening in the sense not woke? You mean awakening like spiritually? I talk about that on an interview on Leslie's podcast, I believe. I think we're changing. I'm going to say two things that I think have changed the world. One is COVID. I think people realized how much we need people, how much we love people, and how important it is to not put things off. It made us be creative. It made us start reaching out in a different way, start communicating more, number one. Number two, what's going on right now politically and the war in the Ukraine, all the stuff that's going on in the world, a lot of it is distracting us from what is really happening, which is we are waking up. We are going to have disclosure. That's all I'm going to say. You guys have got to listen to this interview with Leslie where I did predictions for the rest of the year. And if you want to watch my entire year's predictions that I did back in December, go into my YouTube. I did 2023 predictions. You're going to probably have to go back a little bit ways, but you'll find it. Yeah, they do. I wouldn't be surprised, Jay, if we switched dimensions or theories. There's been some Mandela effect for sure. We've seen it. Ever since the Collider. Yeah. What's interesting, if you guys watch Stranger Things, the episode where they turn on that collider thing and they go into the other realm and deal with it, like before, what's his name leaves? The policeman leaves. It was the same date as when they set the collider off here on our planet and wherever it was. Same date. Go watch it. Go watch that episode. Same exact date. Except for in the 80s, obviously, in the movie, or in the show, but good morning. Yeah, I did predict COVID before it happened, Yep, Cassie, you had a tough job. God, girl. So anyway, TV tells us stuff, you guys. TV clues us in. Now, I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't. I don't like it much. Especially news I don't watch. So anything I predicted has zero to do with what I've seen on the news. I don't watch the news at all. Very rarely, once in a while I'll turn on and watch the weather maybe. You know, if there's a national crisis, I might turn it on. But I really don't watch the news. I find it depressing. I already know what's going on. If you're on social media, you cannot avoid the news. You already know what's happening. I already know what's happening. I don't have to watch it. So, is there anything I can do about it? No. Should I lay connection between Gary and I? Go. Okay, so my answer to you on that, sweetheart, and this is about learning how to use your intuition. You're asking me, Molly, somebody who doesn't know you, on TikTok at 6:30 in the morning what you should do in your relationship. There's bigger problems. And when you say connection, I don't know if you mean like you're still with this person or it's somebody that you used to go out with and you're, still connected. But obviously you know you should, you don't want to. Otherwise you wouldn't be asking me, just do it. Leslie, you're so cute. I mean, a lot of psychics likely felt code coming. Yeah, we all knew. Yeah. And I think we all know disclosure's coming too. They're already starting it, you guys. They're being very subtle about it because, look, it's just like marijuana. It's hard for the government to back out of something they've been programming us to believe for decades, sometimes hundreds of years, right? No matter how much proof there is. Just like right now, they're finding out humans are way older on this planet than they realize. They are uncovering ancient, way before our written history, way before science thought humans existed. Everything's being turned over, and the scientific community is going, You know why? Because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to lose their funding. You guys, look at the big picture, everybody, please. Please. That's all I say. Question. Ask. Doesn't make sense? Ask yourself. Why are there no B batteries? AA, AAA, A, C, D, Why do they not have B batteries? That's what I want to know. Angela Jolie is dating the Antichrist. LOL. Go look. Who would that be, Stephen? Who's she dating? And why do I care? But tell me, who is she dating? Now I care. Now you got me interested. Who's she dating? Antichrist? Really? Who would the Antichrist be? Who runs the world? That's a very good question, not us. It's not even who you think it is. That's my opinion. I'm very much a conspiratist. I'm telling you right now about everything. I don't believe crap. Stephen, girls, you just blew my mind about the B batteries. Well, you know what's funny? I was making a joke about it the other day. Yeah, I agree with you, Leslie. That's why I'm laughing about it. Oh, Bill Gates. Yeah, I don't like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a piece of crap. Is she dating Bill Gates? No. What kind of questions do I answer? If you lost an item, I can help you look for it. That's one thing I do. The only thing I ask, though, is you please let me know when you find it, and please post some type of testimonial. You don't have to show your face. You can just show the item and say, Molly found, da-da-da-da. That's all I ask for payment. And follow me on YouTube, please. Subscribe, follow, whatever. Whatever you can do to support me is what I appreciate. You want to tip me? Fine. But, I've done this a lot, and a lot of people found their items. So, it's no guarantee. Rothschilds, who's that? So I don't answer yes, no questions usually, unless I feel like I have an answer for you. And I don't answer pregnancy questions like I'm going to have a boy or girl. I don't think that's important. Who are the pictures behind me? Thank you for reminding me. I should introduce them. I usually do. This is my great-great-grandfather, Max. My triple great-grandfather, Isaac. That's also him. Triple great-grandmother, Minna. That is also her. And my Granny Shar and Grandpa Herc right there. Those are my boys. Thanks for asking. I always forget. I usually introduce them. And then once I introduce them, then we get all kinds of fun stuff happens in here. You never know. It's like living in the haunted house. But it's not haunted. The other guys. You know what's funny? Is I've had them behind me ever since I started all this, for the most part. And I didn't think they were participating in anything I was doing. But now I'm wondering. Okay, here we go. Kelly asked me, where is the letter Uncle Tony is wanting me to find? Okay, so one thing, Kelly, I want you to do is you need to close your eyes at some point and focus on the item, letter, what you think a letter would look like, what you think it would look like, okay? And I want you to imagine that you found it and how you would feel like emotionally when you find it. That's the first thing you need to do. So, now you need to tell me more information. You said your Uncle Tony. I assume Uncle Tony has passed. Would you please tell me what you think the letter is, or what you know, the circumstances surrounding this letter? That's what I need to know. Or what you think the letter is. And that way I can try to focus on it. I can't guarantee anything, honey, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, Kelly? I've had now here's the thing too. Sometimes people have found things that I tell them where to look. They don't necessarily find it where I tell them to look. But as they go to look for it, whatever I said often will give them a hint in some weird way, and they will find it. So yesterday we were on here. We had a guy say he lost his LED controller. I don't even know what an LED controller looks like. And he described it to me, whatever. And in my mind, I heard it hit wood or sounded like it was on a piece of wood. Like I heard a click, clank, like someone knocked it over or it's on wood. And then I said, I see a short flower in a pot near it. So in my mind, I'm seeing it on the floor or something. He disappears. He comes back and he says, actually, I did just find it and it's been missing for months. He says it was on the shelf, a wooden shelf behind on the fireplace or something like that. And he said, and it was near a small flower, like a sculpture flower in a bag kind of thing, or I don't know. Anyways, he found it. Do I answer questions if I have any gifts? How do I figure out there? Okay, yes, you have gifts. First answer. Thank you, Jonathan. I am. You believe it's a personal message. Okay, honey. Give me 1 second. Let me answer the question about gifts. You all have gifts. You all have it. It's not a gift. You can be gifted in your intuition, which we all have, We're animals. We all have instincts. We call it intuition because we're humans. It's instincts. We all have it. You get a gut feeling, you have a knowing, you feel something without seeing it, all those things, that's normal intuition. You all have it. Now, you're asking if you are a gifted intuitive. If you're asking me, you are. That's why you're asking, because you know you are. No, I'm not RH negative. I always wondered, but no, I'm A+. I'm an A+. Yeah. Okay, so the letter from your Uncle Tony. Is this your mother's brother or your dad's brother? How is he related to you, please? Hi, Glennie. You're welcome, Mom. What are the circumstances as far as the letter? Like, how is he related to you? Your husband's uncle. Okay, so he's not blood related to you. He's uncle by marriage. Thank you very much. I appreciate the information, Kelly. Okay. And that is your name, Kelly. Okay, so I'm looking for a letter from Uncle Tony for Kelly Dawn. And the letter, he has passed. So I need to ask my spirits to show me this letter, where it might be, and also your guides. I'm going to have everybody who's watching, if you're going to help me find something, the best way to help me is for you guys to focus at the exact same time I'm focusing, and you will breathe in through your nose. You will hold that breath. As you breathe out, I want you to see the number 3 in your mind 3 times, flashing just like on a movie screen or a countdown. And in your mind, I want you to say 3, 3, 3. Then we're going to do the same thing. You breathe in. As you breathe out, I want you to see the number 2 3 times in your mind, and also say it in your mind. Then we do the number 1. It's just a way to focus and relax, helps us get to that theta energy where we can start finding things. All right, so breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out the number 3. Breathe in. Breathe out the number 2. Breathe in. Breathe out the number 1. Okay. The letter from your uncle. Is it in his computer? I don't see paper. Do you think he typed it to you? That's the first thing I saw. As an email. Have you checked your spam? Have you looked in your emails? Did he know how to use a computer? Or maybe had somebody type it? Near a computer? Under the keyboard? Near a computer? On the computer? Does that make sense? Kelly, answer me. Answer me! I'm just kidding. Or you think it was handwritten. You don't think he'd use a computer. Okay, then it's near a computer. That's what I saw. Could be in a box with a computer for all I know. I don't know. But I feel like it's near a computer. So look under keyboard. Look. You may look and you might be surprised. But if you don't think he used a computer like something he didn't do, that's cool. But that's what I'm seeing. So doesn't mean it's near a computer necessarily. But as you go to look near computers, it may be in that area. But again, I'm telling you, Kelly, the best way to find it is to visualize what you'll feel like when you find it. To feel it. Physically make yourself feel it, like you're remembering something. His shop office area. Okay. There you go. Or I'm picking up your vibe, what you're thinking. Kelly, everybody, when you're missing an item, 33 people, thank you, Spirit Guides. You have to visualize the item, but you have to feel what it feels like to find it so that you can bring it into your physical energy. You'll find it. I know you're going to find it. I'm excited for you. Tell me what you find out. Tell me when you find it. I want to know what it says. You don't have to tell me everything, but I just want to. Retainer. Oh, Aaron. Is it a normal retainer like pink? Like the plastic park's pink? I mean, remember, I have to visualize it. So you have to tell me, first of all, what does it look like? When's the last time you think you saw it or thought you lost it or whatever? Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube, Aaron. Perfect. You are going to join us for the tarot class. I think you'll like it. Even if you don't want to read tarot, it's good for you to learn. Then you also can say, I like this reader, they're full of crap, whatever. It's good to know, okay? It's kind of like, I know to change my oil, but I don't do it. I go and let somebody else do it. But if I had to, I could. And that way I know when they're full of crap. It's a clear one. Okay. You lost it a few weeks ago, Aaron. Okay. Aaron's retainer. This is weird. When I went to pick up my coffee, I almost felt like it was in my coffee. It's in something liquid. That doesn't mean you're going to find it. You go to my YouTube and you subscribe. It's Miss Molly Knows. It's also in my, you guys, if you're looking for anything, my website, my PayPal, my Cash App, my videos, my interviews, all of those things, easy peasy. I mean, it's so easy for you guys. You just go, you tap my little picture, you know, my little round circle picture, and you see my profile. There's a link tree towards the bottom of my bio. You'll see something that says link something. Tap that. There's buttons. Shows you everything, including my YouTube. When you go to my YouTube, just hit subscribe. It's easy. Good morning, Kayla. Excuse me. I usually do that when there's spirit showing up. That's funny. So your retainer is in a liquid, I believe. I don't know what. You could have accidentally thrown it out. I don't know. I don't feel that. But it's not like an obvious place. It's not an obvious place. Yeah, that's usually what happens. The napkin thing, Aaron. Let me give you a tip on that, because I had braces. You can see I did when I was a kid. And I had a retainer. Here's the thing. It's fine to wrap it in the napkin, but 9 times out of 10, that's how it gets thrown out. Wrap it in the napkin, put it in your purse, put it in your pocket, put it in your bag. Don't ever wrap it in a napkin and stick it on a table. Bad idea. You probably won't find it. But I saw it in liquid. So somebody may have even found it and put it in a container for you or something. So if you remember the restaurant you ate at, if that's where it was, you might go back. If it was at a friend's house, you might ask. But the likelihood is you aren't going to find it. I'm sorry to say that. I may be a poo, but that's just logic. But I see it in liquid. Because like I went to drink my coffee and I almost expected to see a retainer in here. I know that's weird. My dad passed. I need help finding his original keys to his safe. Okay. Have you already emptied his house? I'm sorry about your dad, by the way. Puss. By the way, if anybody's looking for a reading or you're a subscriber, if you're a subscriber, it's only $6 a month. I pull 3 cards for you right this second. Anytime I'm online, if you're a subscriber, I will pull 3 cards for you. $6. Like, really? Anytime. Like, if I'm on 3 times a day, you can get 3 readings. I don't care. If I'm not doing something else, I'll pull cards for you. If you want a real reading, a full reading right now, $40. Anyway, just want to bring it up because people always ask. Not for the most part, no. So you haven't cleaned his house out. Okay. Is he... Okay, I'm just going to focus on it. How many keys? You think there's 2? Usually there is. Is it a gun safe, like a big tall safe, or more like a short little... You got to tell me a little more information. Great, thank you, Angel. Appreciate you. Can you tell me? Thank you for the likes, guys. Keep liking that. Keep hitting that like button. It really helps me, guys. I'm waiting for an answer. There is 2. It's short and fat, safe, but big. Okay, that helps me. Then I can kind of visualize safe too and what the key might look like. All right. Give me a second. Keys to dad's safe. This is weird. I barely even got in there. Did he do... This sounds really strange. Do you think he may have taped or put the keys... I don't know if the safe is flat on the floor. I almost feel like the keys are taped to the back of something or under something. Yeah, I saw that, Angel. Thank you. You know how sometimes like people will tape their password under their keyboard, which doesn't make sense, but they do it because nobody thinks to look under a keyboard and things like that. It feels like you put it kind of in a place not hard to find, honestly. But it's not something you would think about. So like, I almost want to say like he taped it under a drawer or under a, ledge of a tape. Like it's taped under something maybe, or hooked. Where it's almost obvious, but unless you know it's there, you wouldn't see it. That's what I got. So let me know about your dad's keys. And if you don't find the keys that way, you're going to find other things, I think. There's something that's taped underneath something, or hooked, or velcroed, or something underneath things where he knew where it was, but maybe everybody else didn't. But it's not hidden, so to speak, like to the point where you're going to be digging through drawers and all that. Okay, you're not going to be digging through drawers. That's not what we're going to do. Now, you may pull a drawer out and look underneath, or lift some things up. Okay, so Jonathan says, check behind mirror in bedroom, tape behind the dresser mirror on the right-hand side. That's his visual. Very well could be right. No, I cannot, Renee. You know, we have multiple guides. We are collecting guides every day, I believe. I think it's depending on how many iterations you've been here on this planet, is who knows. You know, you could have guides from other iterations on other planets, on other dimensions. I feel like most people's guides can be endless. Now, your main guides that are around you, that would be more of an exercise in a private reading. I wouldn't know just by looking at your name. Health related. Again, not totally responsible. I'm not a doctor. All right. Now, if I'm doing a reading for somebody and I physically feel something, and 9 times out of 10 I will, if there's something going on, I will say like, hey, you might want to, you know, I'm feeling flakiness on my skin, or I'm feeling pain in the back of my head, or my stomach hurts, or, you know, or even positive. I might say, you know, I feel really energized right now because I am empath. So I would do that, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you, yes, you have cancer, or no, you're not going to make it through the surgery. I don't do that. I'm not responsible, and it's not right. I won't do it. I'm also not going to tell you not to go to the doctor or to go to the doctor. I'm just going to say, take care of yourself. Trust yourself about your health. Trust yourself. But I don't feel anything, Ember, that I'm concerned about right at the moment, to be honest with you. I don't feel anything when I'm looking at your name. I know. Well, and the reason I have so many links to my link tree is I talk about so many things during this live that if I don't put them up, everybody keeps asking me. But you know what? I probably need to go through and clean it up. You're right. To have a birth name? For what? No. Means nothing to me. A name is just a label. That's why when people ask me, what is my spirit guide's name? I'm like, who cares? They don't care what their name is. Call them George. Call them whatever you want. It doesn't matter. If they want to tell you their name, they will. If you want to give them a name, give them a name. If they don't like it, they'll tell you. But the name means nothing. It has zero to do with who they are. Again, we're very into labels here. As spirits, they don't care. They don't have a social security card. Medical stock up on astragalus, good for your chromosomes, helps everything. Oh, good to know, Jonathan. Thank you for that. I love it when people give their input on here, as long as you're being helpful. I'm good with it. Even if you're another psychic or another medium, yay, be here. I'll promote you if I think I know you're good. Do they remember their name from when they were? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course they do. They don't care. They know the name. They need it so that you can summon them, but they don't care about their name. You call yours George. I call everything George. I used to call everything Fred, and then now I have somebody in my life named Fred. So I don't do that anymore. I must have summoned him. That's what I figure. I told him that. I go, we used to call everything Fred when I was a kid. You know, we get a stuffed animal. It was Fred. I couldn't think of a name. It was Fred. You know, everything was Fred, and now I have a friend in my life named Fred. Oh, hi, Linz. How are you, honey? Liking your vibe, girl. I like the name George. Good old George. Who doesn't love George? Matter of fact, my first dog, I thought his name should have been George. And then I was over here and I said something about, I kept calling my friend's dog George by accident. He finally goes, you know, my last dog was named George. I'm like, shut up. You called your dog Fred? It's just a funny name. Like, Fred's a funny name. Let's be honest, a funny name. Like, Frederick's not, but Fred is. Because you think Fred Flintstone, right? Fred. I like the name, though. Because guess what? There's a Fred in friend. So I tell him, I go, there's a Fred in friend. Oh. Indeed. I passed along your name in my live yesterday. Someone looking for their credit card. Oh, cool, Linda. Or Linz. Excuse me, I said it wrong. Yes, of course. Of course. I love that. I love referrals. No worries. Matter of fact, Linz, I'm going to pull a card for you. Because you're a guide, obviously. You're a spirit communicator, right? And I'm sure nobody ever reads for you, right? So I'm going to do a quick read 3-card read for you. Even though you're not a subscriber, as a fellow intuitive, I love doing readings for other intuitives, so I will do a quick little 3-card for you. You have a Stephen, Sabrina, Jennifer, and a few other names. Oh, cool. I've got Hancha, who is one of my relatives. I have Jacob, who's a joy guide. I don't know him from this life that I remember. I have, obviously, people behind me. I've got friends, Kim. I've got Brian, who recently passed. He was my boyfriend for a few years. Who else? My grandparents on both sides. My best friend, Kim. My best friend, Hillary. I lost a lot of my female friends in the last few years, unfortunately. And they were all older than me and all cancer. Sue's a big one. Sue's a huge one. Even when she was alive, she communicated with me. Marie, yeah. Your daughter's your go-to reader? Cool. Well, I'm pulling some cards for you, honey. And also just so people can see how I work. And, you know, I love watching other mediums too. I always learn and other psychics. I always learn watching other readers, you know. Hi, Marissa, and welcome. All right, so for Lynn's Elise, I'm just pulling 3 cards, even though normally I do this for subscribers, but she is a fellow intuitive, and I just felt compelled, so I'm going to do it. It's my show. I can do whatever I want. One more card, please. Spirits, ancestors, guides, and energies. That's my sage technique. If you've never heard it, when I say spirits, ancestors, guides, energies, sage. That's how I set intention. You're welcome to use it. Devil reversed. Now, when I read tarot, nope, none of those. When I read tarot and I get an upside down card or reverse, I don't read it as opposite. That is not how I read. What I do is I look at the card, and the first thing that jumps out to me is what I focus on. So you got the devil, and the devil generally to me means like bad habits, poor patterns, things you probably don't want to keep doing. And this did come in upside down, and I feel like you are actually being better about not only setting boundaries, but not doing the same crap over and over again. Like starting to quickly change your course, like change your course faster. Like when you're doing something, I feel like you before would try to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, especially in your spiritual practice. I've done this too. Kept pushing, trying to make it work. And then you finally went, you know what? This isn't working. Pivot instead of just giving up or pushing and going too far with it. Okay, that's the first thing. And sure enough, you get the 4 of Pentacles talking about not holding on too tight to something, not getting overly enrolled in a particular idea, realizing there's a lot of perspectives and ways you can do this. And I think, you know, you're very committed to what you do, and that's wonderful, but commit to ease. I know it's such a strange thing to say. Commit to ease. It should flow. It shouldn't be rough on you. And so that you then end up with the Judgment card, and that is sort of, as we've talked about, awakenings, repurposing, starting again. You know, he's telling these zombies, get your ass up, start again. And I feel like that's what it's saying to you. This is going to give you a breath of fresh air in your work, is commit to ease. If it doesn't come through easily for you, if it's not flowing in an easy way, pivot. Okay, but don't keep pushing. Don't go, well, I got to do it this way. Sometimes spirit tells us what to do. Like I had 3 really crap reads. The reads were amazing, but they weren't for the right people. And it was freaking me out because I'm going, how am I doing these readings and they're not correct? Well, I realized spirit was telling me no more mediumship privately for now. Take a break. Okay, I don't know why it wants me to do that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing mediumship privately right now, but I will be doing it online. And I think that's what it is. It's telling me do it in public. You need to do things more for the public. That is who I am. You might be different, but that is pretty much what your read is telling me. Just those 3 cards. Does that make sense to you, Linz? I know it does, but feel free to expound. I love doing it. I like that you're participating, Jonathan, and that you're giving your input, because it doesn't mean you're wrong. You said 2 major in cups. I did have 2 majors. You're right. There were 2 out of the 3 were majors, weren't they? Yeah. So you were right on that. And you might be tuning into somebody else. Or I might be tuning into somebody else. Thank you for all the roses, Lindsay. I'm assuming that means you liked it. Yeah, to your corporate work. Okay. Also to your corporate work. Right. Gotcha. I didn't even pick up the corporate vibe from you at all, by the way, which is great. Which is great. That means you're not taking it home with you. I love that. All right, guys. Let's talk about something cool. I had a really great interview. Thank you for subscribing, Kel. Thank you, sweetheart. What did you say? You look so happy, and thank you. Want my participation cookie? You're so cute, Jonathan. Thanks for subscribing, Kel. I appreciate that. Man. The duality load is unreal. No shit. Tuning came at a good time because it's actually helped me relax. Oh, good, Gigi. I love Gigi. I found an item for her. I found a lost item for her. She was stoked. All right. So who was it? Kelly just subscribed. So we got to pull some cards for Kelly Dawn. She subscribed. That's how it works. Kelly, would you prefer tarot or oracle today? Kelly Dawn. And give me a green heart so I see you. Oracle. Yay. All right then, let's do it for Kelly Dawn. We're going to pull some oracle cards. We're going to start with an animal spirit card to tell you what animal characteristic to think about right now. You may see this card. Thank you for that little heart. So cute. You may see this animal in your presence, like a real one. You might see it on a billboard, on a sticker on a car, on TV. If you do, just make sure you acknowledge it. Thank you, whatever. You got Ram, Perseverance. That's funny, I pulled this card the other day. Perseverance. I don't know if you're an Aries, but I just bring that up. You got, you have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up, and good luck will follow. That is your animal spirit card today, Kelly. So if you see a ram, or you hear rams, even a ram truck comes in front of you and it catches your attention, just say, thank you guys, I saw that. May not mean anything specific. It's just sort of like a wink, like, hey, we're watching. All right, now we're going to pull, we're going to pull from, where is it? Ah, my favorite, my Enchanted Maps deck. Oh, I'm sorry your daughter's in the hospital, sweetheart. We got rescue. Number 16. The 1 energy is a new beginning. The 6 energy is harmony, flow, balance. 1 + 6 is 7. That is reaching your higher self, your relationship with the universe, rescue. All right. When I see this card, it can mean two things. And I think in your case, it's dual. Okay. I think it means one thing, that you are taking better self-care, but it also means that you tend to take care of other people better than yourself. That should not be the way it is. It's a reverse. You need to take care of yourself first, then help other people. Just like the mask comes down on the airplane, you're supposed to put your mask on first, then help others. This is an imbalance of you helping too many others, not yourself. You got Perseverance. It's talking about self-care. Trusting yourself, taking care of yourself. We're going to go ahead and pull from my Moonology deck as your last oracle card. This card's sticking out. I'm going to pull it anyways, even though I said one card would pull two. You got balance, spirituality, and practicality. Okay? So don't be overly logical and don't be overly spiritual. Kind of find a middle mix there, full moon in Pisces. But you also got your commitments being tested. And I feel the commitment is to yourself. Again, I feel like you push your own needs aside way too much. That's really what I'm getting here. That was for you, Kelly. What you think, girl? What you think? Where does that go? You're welcome. Thank you. I have a lot of pretty decks. This is one of my favorite ones. I'll show you a really pretty deck. This one. Isn't it pretty? It's my... I don't know, it's like vintage, antique, something deck. But I mean, look at these pictures. I mean, have you ever seen things so pretty? I mean, what they did is they took old photographs and then they superimposed with art. I think the author is Victoria Mosley. Let's see. Gorgeous. I'm not sharing with you. You guys can see them. I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. Perception. Anyway, pretty cool, huh? Good morning. Yes, I'm a mother and a nurse, so I do it. Yes, you do, Kelly. Yes, you do. Nurses are superheroes as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't do it. I've been in the hospital. Hey, Air. Thank you. I know. They're beautiful. Another deck I have. This one was just given to me for my birthday. I just had my 53rd birthday. Guys, a friend of mine from 35 years ago, at least from like 1980, I don't even know how long it is, this whole time. I guess that's 35 years ago, refriended me recently and just sent me a picture of me sitting next to him when I was 18. It cracks me up. I'll have to share it with you guys in the Faka clan. If you aren't in my Faka clan on Facebook, Miss Molly knows I have a private group called Faka Clan. Faka is one of my little jokes. And I post things there I don't post anywhere else. And I will post that picture later. You guys will laugh. I had white blonde hair like this color and this terrible bobbed hairstyle. I was wearing vintage clothes because I was really into the mod scene and I liked, like that vintage look. Pretty funny picture. So this deck is the Pulp, I think it's like the Pulp Fiction deck. My friend Sophie sent to me. I mean, talk about great cards. I mean, you can't. These are fabulous as far as I'm concerned. Now, I have a few of the decks I used in my Linktree. If you like what I use, you can click on it and you can buy them yourself if you want them. I'm not selling them, but I do get a kickback from Amazon. I will disclose if you buy them through me. You don't have to. I don't care. I just put that option out there for y'all. I mean, I gotta make money. I do this for a living, but that doesn't mean I just care about that. I don't. Oh, you subscribed. Yay, you get cards. Do you want, first of all, I need your first name. You never did tell me your first name, Eric Kippa, whatever the heck your name is. Give me your first name, a green heart so I know it's you while I'm reading, and I'm going to pull 3 cards. I see you. Do you want Oracle or Tarot, darling? I need your first name, sweetie. Is it Eric? Is that your name? I wasn't sure. It's interesting spelling if it is. Gotta say it. Yes. Okay, I thought it was Eric. Okay. Tarot or Oracle or which? I feel like you need tarot. So I'm not even going to ask you. I'm just going to do it. See, I knew it. We're going to use my Pulp Fiction deck. Let me give it a shove. Just shove it up. Shove it up. I'm going to get shirts made eventually, you guys. And they're going to say Faka on them. And they're also going to say, did you just see that? Did you guys just see that? Because I always say that. Every time I get an orb or the cabinet opens or whatever happens, they're always go, do you guys just see that? I'm going to have shirts that say, did you guys just see that? Why not? Have fun with it. Have a sense of humor, y'all. Come on. It's for Eric. He's a subscriber. He gets a few cards. Spirit Sounds 22 people. Spirits. Oh, look at you. You got Ace of Swords as your first card. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, your cards. You got 4 cards. Okay, we'll go for a lot of swords. 2 swords, a wands, and a pentacle. My eyes itching like crazy. Okay. Oh, you worked in film and TV. I love it. Me too. Good. I'm glad you did that. That's cool. All right. Starting out, you got the Ace of Swords. Speaking of opportunities, inspired action, blessing from spirit. You got really inspired recently, or you will be inspired. There is some kind of amazing, like, I got it. I know what I'm going to do next kind of feeling. I feel like you are in a good place in your life, but you definitely feel like it's time to expand. You feel that expansion feeling, like that kind of build up, like something's about to happen. Yeah, it is. 3 of Pentacles in reverse shows up. Okay. The 3 energy is about expansion and creation, by the way. And the Pentacles are usually career, finance, and abundance. Sometimes stability in the home. So when we get a 3 of Pentacles, to me, this is abundance is starting to kind of build for you. It's starting to grow a little bit. It's also about you having a lot of skill. Okay. You have skill. You have not just skill, but talent. It is really there. It's not just like you think you're talented, but you're really not. And that's why it hasn't happened the way you want it to. No. It's just timing. Timing. You have 0 to do with that right now. But you do get the King of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands is usually about somebody who doesn't stop and they never give up on their passions or their dreams. Yeah. I don't think so. You're not giving up, but it was in reverse. So when I see a reverse card, I kind of glance at what stands out to me. More than anything, again, these little leaves on the wand. I always talk about the wands being your dreams, your hopes, your desires, sort of like your manifestation magic wand, right? It's a magic wand. That's where the word wand comes from. And I think like maybe you got a little doubtful of yourself. Like maybe this isn't worth it all. Like there was some, and that's true with any actor or actress. I know because I've done it. But I feel like in your gut of guts, you've known this since you were a little kid. You weren't going to quit. It's not over. It's never going to be over. You know this. And once you come to terms with that this is never something I'm going to give up on, no matter how big or small it is in my current life, King of Swords, no. You go from the Wands to the Swords. You're speaking your truth. You're setting your boundaries. You're in charge. You don't mess around. Okay? You are going to have opportunities big time. This is just too strong. You got two kings right next to each other. You may even have a new love interest. That's very possible. I don't know your story. But this person also very straightforward, doesn't fool around, isn't going to lie to you, isn't going to make shit up. So if you're not in a relationship right now, this person is going to show up. Doesn't mean love necessarily, but you will have somebody who's interested in you. And you're going to like them because they don't fool around. They're not going to be mamby-pamby and, oh, I think, and I don't know. They're going to be like, I don't like that. I like that. I want to do this. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Inspired action. Only do what makes things in your life happy and fun. Who is the author? I do not know, but it's called The Pulp Tarot. The Pulp, P-U-L-P, Tarot, like Pulp Fiction. Aren't those the cutest? Oh, the vintage cards. Oh. The vintage cards are Victoria Moseley, M-O-S-E-L-E-Y, I believe. And yes, in my link tree, I believe those cards are listed. Yay! Also, if you go to my website, there is a blog where I talk about all the tools I use. And I don't think I've updated it in a while, but there are a list of all my cards. Most of them, anyway. Yay! Tell me what happens. Coolio. Yay. Tired. I'm still tired. I don't know why I woke up so early. I'm like, good Lord. I have a bad back. Sometimes it wakes me up. Spirit wakes me up. It does. Usually it's 3:33. Today it was 4:44. And here's the funny part, you guys. God, my hair's a mess. I woke up at 4:44 this morning, which fours are to me about healing, about closure, about stability. I had a message from an ex on my cell phone, a text, confessing that he was sorry that he allowed his child to treat me so bad. Apologized. I didn't ask for an apology, but I got it. So that was funny. So maybe I woke up to see that. I didn't hear the phone. He wrote it last night, but I saw it this morning at 4:44. So I figured, yeah, that's healing for me to know that somebody's acknowledging they hurt me. Want a story? I'll tell you real quick. So I was living with a boyfriend up until about, I don't know, like 8 months ago. And he had 3 children, 2 of which were autistic, and the youngest one had some serious behavioral issues. Serious. Child is brilliant, but hyperactive like me, but also really zero boundaries and never taught any boundaries. Like, they did a bad job parenting. I'm just going to say bottom line, bad job parenting. And he was, they came over to our house every weekend and sometimes twice a week. And he wouldn't even go to school. Kid's 11. But I managed to handle him pretty well. I'm really good with kids. And one day he was at our house, and I never really had any serious, I had issues with him here and there, but nothing, like major, like personal. But he was in thank you, you're welcome. He was in our junk drawer, and he found an old phone of mine. And I was holding on to the phone for several reasons, even though I don't use it. It was a practically brand new phone. But the reason I was keeping it is before when my best friends passed away, she had texted me a lot of very deep conversations back and forth before she died. And I have a couple other ones from people like that. And some pictures and things that I hadn't uploaded or whatever. And I wanted to save it. At some point I was going to upload it to my computer and figure it all out. So the kids said, can I play with your phone? I said, you guys see where this is going. I said, well, you're going to have to charge it and blah, blah, blah. So he plugs it in, it's on the charger, and we're going about our day. His dad wasn't home. And I don't know, like an hour later, I noticed the phone's missing from the charger. And I said to him, oh, did you charge my phone? He goes, yeah. And I go, so have you been using it? He goes, yeah. And I go, cool. Remember, I want the phone back. I figured he was playing solitaire or just whatever. His dad comes home, and I go, where's my phone? And he goes like that. And I went, oh, shit. And I go, what did you do with my phone? Okay, he's 10 years old, guys. This was last year. Just about a year ago. Okay, go get my phone right now. Okay, I'm pissed at this point. He gets my phone, you guys. It is smashed. Smashed. Ruined. Like, he took it and he threw it on the ground and smashed it. So what do you think the appropriate response would have been from his dad? Guess what the response was? Oh, he's just a little kid. He has a problem. Bah, 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 bah. I'm like, no. Nope. Doesn't work like that. I got in that kid's face. I let him know. You can do that with your mom. You don't do that with me. Not cool. That is not your equipment. And then I took his switch. He had a little switch. And I ran outside and I smashed it. I smashed it on the ground. And I showed him what it felt. I said, how do you like it? Is that what you do to people's stuff? But I was more angry at his dad because he did not stick up for me. He did not support what I said. And all of a sudden I get an apology this morning. I'm sorry I let my kid destroy your phone. I didn't call him on it. I should have. That was a mistake. Duh. Guys, don't have kids if you're not going to be a parent. Really. Don't have kids if you're not going to parent your kids. That's all I got to say. That's your job. You're not their friend. Not yet, anyway. You can be their friend, but you have to be their parent first. Yeah, it was shitty. And he never said why. I kept saying to him, why did you do that? And I don't know. I'm like, you do know. You don't just do stuff like that. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at somebody else? What? Kid's a fucked up mess. Kid's a mess. And I feel bad for him. It's not his fault. You know what? You don't like how somebody turned out? Go complain to the manufacturer. Your kid's a mess, complain to the manufacturer. My parents don't like me, complain to the manufacturer. I didn't ask to be born in this family. I was like, oh, we choose our families where we're born. No, we don't. Not necessarily. We choose our experience. If that family fits our experience, yes, we might. There are often times we do, but not always. Oh, being a step-parent is tough. And I wasn't officially married to him, but pretty much I was a step-parent. It wasn't easy. And the second time I've been a step-parent, by the way. And I love kids. I'm great with kids. And I was great with those kids. And they were a lot of work. They were a mess. And it wasn't just because of their autism or their behavior. It was the way they were raised. They had zero boundaries. Zero boundaries, zero manners, zero anything. No sense of, I don't know how they're going to function as adults. That's all I got to say. It makes me sad. They're going to be mad at their own parents. They're going to be like, why didn't you show me these things? You don't help them that way. Anyway, off the subject. Boring. Who cares? So let's talk about something exciting. What do you guys want to talk about? You want a ghost story? I'm only going to be on a few more minutes. My coffee's getting cold. So here's the thing I want to share with you all. If you're tuning in. Oh, that's so sweet, Angel. I like that. I always thank my mom for having me on Mother's Day, but I also thank my mom on my birthday. You want a ghost story? Okay, you want a really creepy one or you want like a more fun one? Funny, creepy, weird, what? You want a ghost? You want ghost. Okay. I'm going to tell you something really bizarre. We're talking about people apologizing. This is a little creepy, but also cool. And I'll give you a creepy one. Okay, so this is a creepy, but also cool. I think I mentioned to you guys that my boyfriend before the one I just talked about died recently. He took his own life. I don't think he did it on purpose. And I know he didn't because he told me he didn't. I've heard from him. But he passed in end of December. So first of all, he passed 3 years to the day that I broke up with him. About a month before he passed, and all the last, over the last year, we became friends again. He was a horrible boyfriend. Horrible. But I loved him. He was a drunk. He was abusive. And then he stopped drinking. He was still abusive, verbally, mentally, emotionally. He was a mess. But we were very deeply connected. The night he died, I didn't know. But I was sitting on the couch here, and I turned to Fred, and I go, somebody just died. And he goes, what? I go, something just happened. I don't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Somebody passed. And he was like, oh. And that was it. Next morning, this is weird. I go to counseling for the first time since I left him over 3 years ago. And I was with him for like almost 10 years. Okay. And I finally go to counseling about it because I realized I got to deal with this. Like I tell you guys, deal with it. And I'm sitting in the counseling office and I bring him up and she goes, well, are you still with him? I go, no. And she goes, when's the last time we saw him? And I go, a couple of years ago. And she's like, why are you even, I'm just curious. And I said, because I haven't finished how I feel about that. I haven't processed it. It keeps coming up in my life. So we go through this whole thing and I'm crying and, like you would expect in a first counseling appointment. I'm on my way home from the appointment. I've just talked about him. I get a phone call that he passed. So he passed the night I said, I feel that. It was like the next day. All right. So that's the first weird thing. And as you know, as an intuitive and a medium, I've heard from him, I've seen him, I've talked to him, all that shit. But he also comes through other ways. I've heard from several people that have said he's come through on the internet to them after he passed. Like stuff on LinkedIn, which he doesn't use LinkedIn very, very rarely at all. He ever used it, but he had it. I had him communicate with me now 3 separate times through YouTube. He has passed. I don't know if he's scheduled comments or it's a glitch in the system. I highly doubt it. I think it is him. They have been comments on videos from as far as 6 months ago where he posts a comment and it's usually just emojis. It's a hug and a heart, or it's you look beautiful, hun, or call me, or something like that. But they're showing up now after he died on my YouTube. I just had one 2 days ago. I'm on YouTube. I'm looking at the comments. Up pops a comment from him. Guys, he died February 27th. Very weird. So that's the first story I got to tell you. That's recent. Another one, when I was interviewing with Leslie Fear, you guys heard me talk about that interview. Whole time we're on the phone, the first 15 minutes, we got hung up on 9 times. I was not touching my phone. It was laying here on the table on speaker. Didn't have my hands on it. Didn't move. No problem with reception back here. Phone hung up 9 times till we stopped talking about a specific subject I brought up that was very controversial. I don't know if that's Ghost or Big Brother. There's that. Scary. You want a story that's going to give you chills. That's not a chill story, but I'll give you a chill story. I think. Just a second. I was thinking of something the other day and I was like, oh my God, this one place that we were in, it was so haunted. And like, I'd never been in something with that kind of weird activity. Okay, I'm going to tell you the story is so weird. It's really super creepy. And I actually forgot about it. And it's just funny. A lot of times if the story is really creepy, I won't remember it for a long time. Then I'll go, oh my God. So I had a friend living in this apartment. It was basically a giant, I think it used to be an old boarding house. This huge old couple 100-year-old house in California. She was renting one room, like a studio apartment. Okay. And it had potential to be adorable, but it was run down. It was like a flop house. Like druggies lived there. That's all she could afford at the time. So I was helping her move in or whatever. And I was also, I think, looking for a place at the time. And she said, the apartment across the hall is open. And I said, really? And I walked down the hall and for some reason, the place was falling apart. And I felt like the door was unlocked. I don't know why I felt that way. And I don't know what compelled me to do this. So I go and I open the door to the apartment. It's actually open. It's not locked. I opened that door and I swear to you guys, I thought at the time it didn't exist. It looked like a scene from Stranger Things. I kid you not. I opened that door and there is shit flying around, both physically and spiritually. So I'm seeing actual items like cards, whatever's in the apartment flying around, and I'm watching shit flying around like orbs and spirits and dark entities and light. Like there is so much and noise. Like the noise was like roaring in my ears. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? So I close the door. That's all within a second, right? I go back over to her apartment. I go, what in the hell is in that apartment? And she says, oh, well, she says the last person in there lost their mind. Like literally, they had to come take him away. And apparently there had been several drug overdoses and suicides in that specific apartment. Now, I don't always believe because there's a tragic death that's why spirits will show up. Sometimes they don't. It has zero to do with it. But in this case, I think because there had been repeated negative energy like that, it caused some kind of portal maybe. But I even said to her, I told her, I opened the door and there's something going on there. She said, oh, I know. So the door opens itself sometimes and you walk by and you see stuff in there. She goes, I'm glad I'm not crazy. I'm like, I wouldn't live in this building. I wouldn't live in this building. What the hell? So weird, you guys. So weird. Another thing, speaking of the ex that passed away, part of the reason I've gotten into this so much is partially because of him, because he really did believe in metaphysical, extraterrestrial, all those things. And he saw my abilities many, many times. And he finally said, you've got to do something with this. Hey, Sage. So one of the things that ended up happening was we were getting a lot of activity in our apartment, tons of activity in our apartment. And as it turns out, the gentleman that lived there before, and we knew him, passed in that apartment. And I heard and smelled him. I know it sounds weird that I say I smelled him, but he has a particular smell. And I knew he was in there oftentimes. And the weird part is Brian died the same way he died. So very weird. But back to the story of our apartment. We had a lot of activity in our apartment. We had cabinets opening and closing. We had lights flashing and the microwave turning itself on and all kinds of crap all the time. And we were kind of getting used to it, but it also was a little much. Yeah, you can smell. Yeah. And so we had a back guest room. And on the right side of the room, I had more of these family photographs all on one side of the room. The other side of the room, I had all of his family photographs. On either side of the bed, we had art from like dual paintings from a friend of his who had also taken his own life, John. And his pictures were back there. I never met John, but he talked about him all the time. He was super important to him. They were very close friends. So I could feel John's presence in that room for some reason. And somebody else, I don't know who it was. And again, I wasn't very versed in what I do now. I didn't really totally understand it. Yeah, smell is a big one for me too. Taste also. So anyway, one day I'm sitting in our living room and I looked down the hallway and I swear I saw somebody walk by in our room. And I saw him walk towards the wall that had all Brian's relatives. And I went. So I walked back there and every single picture on Brian's wall is crooked. Like like you couldn't make them more crooked. Like one's pointing this way, one's upside down, one's, like on the floor. They're like all the pictures are fucked up. Pardon my language. And I think, okay, well maybe somebody slammed a door upstairs, because there's only like 3 apartments in that whole building. And I thought, well, maybe somebody upstairs above us slammed, jumped. I don't know. Okay, I brushed it off just like you guys all do. Because at the time I didn't believe that stuff completely. I go back in the living room. I fix them all, right? I go back in the living room. Later that day, Brian comes home and I hear something back there. I go, did you just hear something back there? And he goes, what? I go, in that room. And he goes, no. I go, I heard something. We walk back there. Sure enough, all the photographs fucked up again. Okay. And so I tell him what's going on. He's like, oh, it's probably this. I'm like, all right, whatever. We fix them all. Within minutes, you guys, minutes, I suddenly look at him, I go, there's something back there. And he goes, what? I go, come back there with me. We go back there, we flip the light on. All the pictures are on the floor. Didn't even hear it. That's the weird part. I didn't hear pictures fall down. I just knew it. All the pictures on the floor. Only on his side. So, at that point, we're like, what? So I say to him, we're going to try an experiment. Put these pictures back up. Put them all back up. We're going to say, if you hear me, I want you to move the pictures on Molly's side. Those pictures. Nothing happens. 4 days later, I go to put something back there. All of my pictures are messed up. Not his, mine. Responsive, intelligent life. One little story. That's one. I'm sorry he's not around to corroborate my stories, although he would have, and he has. But I have other people that have seen it too, not just me. So, you guys have seen it. I'm not trying to be snarky. I just think it's interesting. I love it when those things, I like that stuff. I like paranormal activity. It just confirms what I've always known. It's real. And I don't think it's harmful. 99% of the time, I do not think it's meant to scare or hurt us. I think it's just communication. That's all we ever do, guys. Communicate. How many ways do we communicate? Through cameras, through phones, through writing, through texts, through smoke signals, through billboards, through the radio, through cameras, we communicate. We're communicate horrors. Communication horrors. So why are we always surprised when spirit communicates with us? Hello! There's nothing to be scared of. It's amazing we can communicate. Think about it. Everything that we go through in our lives, who we are, the languages we speak, the religion that we grew up with, the parents we have, where we live, the schools we went to, the foods we ate, the movies we watched, the TVs we watched, the teachers we had, the schools we went to, the accents we have, all of that, and we can still communicate. Yeah. And we can still find somebody we want to spend our life with, or we think. Wow. Blows my mind. Pow-pow! Anyway, I'm going to go at 7:30. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your conversation, your input, your trust in me, your participation. It means so much to me, you guys. When am I coming on next? I'm not sure today. I've got to take somebody to a dentist appointment, and they're going to be kind of not feeling great, so I don't know. Probably this evening if I do, or this late afternoon. But as I said, I will be teaching a tarot class. It will be donation based. So if you don't have the money, do not feel like you can't take the class. You still can. Okay. It's whatever you feel. If you can afford $5, if you can afford $0, I don't care. I'm going to suggest $25. It will be on YouTube next week. And I might do it here too, like a short version here, and then jump over there, and because I'm trying to get you guys over there. All right. All right. You guys have an amazing day. I love you all. Mwah.